Now let's talk about the decision-making process against a drop coverage in a ball screen setting. So drop coverage just means that the big that's guarding the screener is just sagging back, they're zoning back, or they're dropping off of the screener. So we know that there's a little bit of space between them. The first option is always reject. We know that that big that is zoning up and they're sagging back and dropping off, they're waiting for us to use the screen. That's how they're set up. The defense is loaded to push us into the screen. So if we can get around that coverage by rejecting, we're gonna have an advantage. So the first thing is I'm gonna try to always get them to go and reject. If I reject, my first option is get downhill and finish at the rim. And the only person that can really help, because the big is so loaded to that side, is the corner shooter. And if they make that bad decision to come over, we're gonna be able to find our shooter in rhythm and knock down a J. So the first option is reject. Another thing that I see a lot of really good point guards do is split through before the screen. So if we get a couple rejects, this guy might be really kind of forcing us into the screen. He might overload on our hip, and we might be able to find that gap right here and be the exact same reads. Now we've got, a finish at the rim, or if somebody were to rotate over, we'd be able to find their shooter and knock it down. Now, those two things aren't gonna happen against a good defender. A good defender is gonna be in a good square position. They're not gonna allow a reject. They're gonna force us to use a screen. What we need to do is we need to attack the inside shoulder, not the outside shoulder, the inside shoulder of our screener. If we can go here, now we can come up and around. We know in a drop coverage, they're gonna go up and around and follow us and trail us. So the next option is, can we shoot? So first option is, can we reject? If yes, we reject. Second thing is, can we split through before the screen? If yes, split through. If no, we use the screen. Next question, can we shoot? If it's yes, we knock it down. If it's no, we know that the big kind of came up and took away our shot. And so the next question is, can we split through with a snake? So if we can split through with the snake, we do it. So if I come off the screen right here, he takes away my jump shot, I snake through, and I get downhill and finish at the basket. Now when we snake through, we have to ask ourselves another question. Can I get downhill and finish, or do I need to get to space? If I get to here, can I shoot as no, and can I split as yes, I start to split. Can I get to the basket? If that's no, then I'm just gonna tight wrap it, get to the elbow or get to open space and knock it down. So first thing, reject. Second thing, early split. Next thing is come off and shoot. Next thing is snake or tight wrap to open space. Now we've got a ton of reads already, but we've got this systematic way to kind of think through it so we can figure it out as we go. If we come off and can I shoot is no, but he's kind of taken away our split option, the next thing is, can we get around him? If we get to the basket, we're obviously trying to finish at the rim. If our primary defender now, which is the big guy, cuts off our driving angle at the basket, then we might just bump off and get to space. So just like we did over there with the tight wrap, we'd either use a bump off, which is an in and out shuffle, or we just kind of get to a spot. Or if we get around him and we see one of these weak side defenders come over, it's gonna be hit to a shooter, or if the baseline guy comes over, hit to a corner shooter, and we find them. So we've got a ton of different passing and scoring options, and we haven't even talked about what to do with our screener yet. If we come off right here and our screener rolls, our first option is this short roll pass. So if they're a good playmaker and this big right here gives us a little pocket, we're gonna hit that pocket pass, get a good short roll where he can make a play himself. Another thing that we might do is we might come off right here and put pressure on this big. If he's rolling, we might hold him. If we see that our roller gets past this big guy, we're gonna throw a lob at the rim where he can catch and finish. So if we ever see that our roller gets behind the dropping big that's guarding us, we're gonna make sure we throw it up and over so he can catch it and make an easy play. Another thing that you'll see is a tag defender. So right there, he's responsible for tagging. So if we come off right here, this guy rolls, he's kind of containing us, he sinks in to tag, we might have a lift guy lifting up right there, which is another read that we have. A couple final options that we need to look at. Sometimes we're gonna have this option where he pops, so if we come off right here and we're putting a lot of pressure and we contain two defenders, we might have to throw it back and hit that pop defender. The biggest thing that's gonna simplify when you're using a ball screen is think systematically. So if I'm right here, my first option is, can I reject? If yes, I reject. My second option is, can I early split? If I can early split, I early split. My next option is, can I shoot off the screen? If I can, I shoot off the screen. If I can't, can I split? If I can split, then I have to ask the question, can I get to the basket or do I get to space? If I can't split, then I'm saying, can I get around? If the answer is yes, then I get to the basket or I hit a shooter if one of these guys sinks in. And then the final thing that we have to be prepared for is if we don't create a scoring opportunity for ourselves or our teammates, we have to be able to get a mismatch or a switch. every time you use a ball screen, you have to gain an advantage. So if I come off right here and he does a good job, but I run him into the screen, I don't have a split, I don't have a shot, I don't have a get around, I might have to kind of back him up, create a switch, and now I take advantage of this mismatch, or we roll the big guy down.